Hey fight fans, welcome back to the Fight Book. Your Indian accent guy is back. As I had already told you that my exams are near, which now have been delayed, so we are back with full force. First, I'm gonna let you know which 21 UFC fights are announced in the past few days in my absence. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. We're gonna do it in chronological order. So we're gonna talk about UFC Abu Dhabi first. There are two fights that are announced for this event. First one is a heavyweight bout between number 14 ranked Martin Buday, who will welcome Marcus Buchecha into the UFC. Buchecha is a multi-time World Jiu-Jitsu and ADCC submission fighting champion, holding an extraordinary grappling record of 138 wins and only 13 losses. He is 5-1 in MMA, fighting in one championship, losing only to their current champion Omar Kane. On the other hand, Buday is 6-1 in the UFC, currently riding a 2-fight win streak, so this fight is definitely going to be something to watch. Second one is a flyweight bout where number 8 ranked Asu Almabayev was supposed to fight Ramazan Temirov, who is out of this fight because of testing positive for a banned substance. Replacing him is Jose Okoya, who is having a quick turnaround after getting a performance of the night round 2 KO victory over Cody Durden at UFC Atlanta on June 14th. Then we have 3 fights added on next card: UFC Vegas 108, August 2nd, headlined by Albazi vs Taira. First one is a welterweight bout where Neil Magny will take on Alizio Zaleski dos Santos. Magny, who is currently riding a 2-fight losing streak, was supposed to take on Gunnar Nelson at UFC 318, but Gunnar Nelson was out of this fight, so he got a new date and a new opponent in Alizio Zaleski, who is coming off a loss to Shidi Njokuani. Neil Magny is finally taking on a veteran after 4 straight fights against UFC up-and-coming prospects. Anyway, the second fight is a lightweight bout between Esteban Ribovic versus Elvis Brenner. Both are 3-2 in the UFC, trying to come back into the win column. Then the last one is a flyweight bout added on this card. Felipe Bunes, who was supposed to take on Andre Lima, who is now out of this fight, will now be taking on another undefeated Brazilian, Rafael Estevam, who is currently 2-0 in the UFC. Then on the next card, August 9th, UFC Vegas 109, headlined by Hernandez vs Dolidze, there is only one fight added. Number 14 ranked women bantamweight Jocelyn Edwards, who is riding a 2-fight win streak, was supposed to take on number 8 ranked Mayra Bueno Silva on a step-up fight, but Silva is out of this fight, and now Edwards will be taking on Priscilla Cachoeira, who will be trying to get her second straight win in the UFC. Then UFC 319, August 16, headlined by Duplessis vs Khamzat Chimaev. There is one fight and it is a big one. We already had rumors that Jeff Neal vs Carlos Prates is in works in a welterweight bout, and now these rumors are confirmed. This fight will be taking place in UFC 319 card. Prates is coming off his loss to Ian Gary, while Jeff Neal is coming off a win over RDA. Then on the next card, UFC Shanghai, August 23rd, there are 4 fights added, 2 of them with hometown favorites. First, there is a bantamweight bout between the hometown favorite from Shanghai, Xiao Long, who will be taking on RTU3 winner, currently 2-0 in the UFC, Zhu Su Yang. Then another fighter from Shanghai, China, UFC lightweight Rong Zhu, will be taking on Austin Hubbard. Then there is another lightweight bout where Haisar Makhachev will be taking on Goj Young, and there is a welterweight bout between Song Kenan and Kiefer Crosby. Then there are 3 fights added on UFC Paris for September 6th, headlined by Imavov vs Bohayo. First one is a light heavyweight bout where Paul Craig will be taking on Modestas Bukauskas. Paul Craig was supposed to get cut from the UFC after he failed to break his 4-fight skid against Adolfo Bellato in his last fight, but UFC didn't let him go. Anyway, Bukauskas is currently 5-1 into the UFC in his second stint, 3-fight win streak, and coming off a split decision win to Ion Cutelaba. Second one is a lightweight bout where Fares Ziam will be taking on Cow Fernandez. Ziam is currently riding a 5-fight win streak, and with his past 2 wins, he really deserved a ranked opponent next, but he wanted to fight on his own soil, so UFC got him Fernandez, who is also riding a 2-fight win streak. Then another French fighter, UFC featherweight William Gomez, is also back at UFC Paris, and he will be welcoming Robert Rochala into the UFC. Anyway, Benoit Saint-Denis have also confirmed that he will be fighting at UFC Paris card, but he didn't name his opponent. After his remarks, people were guessing that he will probably be fighting Mateusz Gamrot, but Gamrot have confirmed that he will not be the opponent for Benoit Saint-Denis at UFC Paris return. So now you guess who could be Benoit Saint-Denis' opponent for UFC Paris. We move on to the next one, Noshi UFC 3, September 13th, headlined by Lopez vs Silva. There are 5 fights added on this card. First one is a lightweight bout where Claudio Puelles will be trying to break his 2-fight losing streak against Joaquim Silva, who is coming off a loss to Drakkar Klose. Then there are 2 flyweight bouts. First one, Edgar Chairez will be taking on Alessandro Costa. Both fighters are coming off their performance of the night wins. And in the second flyweight bout, Jesus Aguilar will be taking on Luis Gurule. Then there are 2 women's bantamweight bouts, and the first one is between Raquel Pennington versus Norma Dumont. Former women bantamweight champion is coming off her title fight loss to Juliana Pena, while Norma Dumont is currently riding a 5-fight win streak, and if she wins this bout, she is probably the next one to fight for the title. Anyway, in the second women's bantamweight bout, the undefeated prospect Elise Pereira will be making her UFC debut against Monstrat Rendon, who is 1-1 in the UFC. Anyway, do not get confused with the name Pereira, as Elise Pereira is not the sister of Alex Pereira. That is Alain Pereira, who is Alex Pereira's sister. Anyway, the last fight announcement is the first fight added on UFC's September 27th card, which is supposed to take place at Perth, Australia. It is a featherweight bout between Duhu Choi versus Daniel Santos. Choi is on a 2-fight win streak over Bill Algeo and Nate Landwehr, while Santos is also riding a 3-fight win streak, and his last win was also over another South Korean, Jon Jones Lee. And other than these fight announcements, UFC have also announced a new fight card for November 22nd, and this card will be taking place at Qatar. Yes, this is the second new location where UFC is going this year. Now you tell me, who do you think should headline UFC's first Qatar card? Like the video if you enjoyed, share your feedback in the comment section, and stay subscribed, because now I'm gonna upload a video daily and you will stay updated with the fight world.